It's time for the Constructors Team home race, the Italian Grand Prix in front of the Tifosi. And yeah, of course, we're going to be running with a special helmet, celebrating 100 years at Monza. It's probably my ugliest helmet because, yeah, I didn't know what to do for this. Had no vision at all apart from it has to be yellow and the font has to be sort of classic. But I think it's just okay. But it's not my best work compared to like the other one I had this season, the Butters helmet and the Police helmet. Those slap. But anyways, yeah, P11 and Q1. I never had good Q1, so I'm just gonna let this pass. And right now we're in Q2 in our first run, and yeah, I just locked the front left a bit. Yeah, it's okay, just a minor mistake. Again, scrub tires because I like saving tires. You can see this massive understeer here. Holy crap. Going to 7th gear, and we're gonna cross the line. It's a very bad lap. It's almost a 121, but we're only 3/10 off of land. No, that's very bad. We're actually slower than Yuki Tsunoda. And that last run actually gave me the slowest time in quali. So yeah, obviously I have to go out for a second run to solidify my spot in Q3. And we're 1.1 up on our time. So I think we're setting around 119. Because we set a 120.9. So we're setting like a 119.7 right here. I'm not sure if that's realistic because I haven't paid attention to the 2022 F1 season in a while. We crossed the line and we're P2, just behind our teammate Carlos Sainz, who had a pretty poor race in Zandvoort, and he's trying to come back from that right now. You see there, Fernando Alonso makes it into Q3. Valtteri Bottas as well, very nice. Very good performances from those two. Right now, first run of Q3. We set a purple first sector. Lewis Hamilton is on provisional pole right now. He's not going to get pole. I'm just going to say this. Lewis Hamilton was very uncompetitive this weekend. We go through the second Lesmo now on the straight. Opening up the DRS. Increasing our straight line speed. And yes, using 0-0 wings, of course, because that's what you use at Monza. We set a purple middle sector, Sergio Perez, Checo Perez, that's a 119.3. But the Ferrari cars this weekend is actually super OP. As we got 1-2 in Q2, and we're going to set really good lap times here as well. We go through the Parabolica, running wide a bit, but that's to carry more speed on the exit. Because you know what they say, slow in and toga mode out. As we set a 119.1, and that's good enough for provisional pole at the moment. I don't know what Carlos Sainz will set. So we're ahead of Checo Perez. Did Verstappen? Oh, yeah, lock up a bit. Yeah, we're actually in P2, so we're on the front row. Carlos Sainz is on cocaine. No, steroids. Cocaine probably doesn't increase athletic ability. We're now on our final run. We're actually the first out of every other runner. Or no, I think we're last actually. Yeah, we're going out last here. Yeah, almost overshot. But here we go. We're 1/10 up. That I think Carlos is 2/10 quicker on that lap. So we should be good to get pole. So yeah, it's 1.810. So we set another purple first sector. No, he set the purple first sector. I'm tripping. I suck at commentary, so we're just gonna go skip ahead to the Ascari corner. You know, just flat out a bit. You know, lifting off so that I don't spin. We're not yet on pace to get on pole position. It's only 1.2 tenths. Going through the Parabolica, running wider, carrying more speed, and this should be it. Yup, we're 2/10 now, and that gives us pole position at the Italian Grand Prix. Yeah, total domination from the two Ferraris. I mean, Verstappen's not even close. Yeah, it's going to be the same story tomorrow. Just total domination. And, yeah, more I can say. But there's going to be a lot of battles, though. So, yeah.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today, here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in Formula One. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Maverick lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Fernando Alonso, Valtteri Bottas and Norris. Gasly, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty. Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Hamilton, Stroll, Max Verstappen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Joe, Albon, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel, they've taken a grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher, Magnussen and Yuki Tsunoda. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
This is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today.
And we definitely will impress. We're starting P1. Carlos is actually not on the front row. I'm pretty sure Checo Perez is P2 because of grid penalties for Carlos Sainz. Didn't he take them in Zandvoort? No, he didn't, yeah. So we're just going to line up on the grid now, just going real slow, trying to get the brakes heated up and the tires heated up so we can get a good start. Starting on the medium tires. Everyone's starting on the medium tires. We're going for the 1-stop, but everyone else is going for the 2-stop, so... Oh, I just spoiled that video. Yeah, everyone else is going for the 2-stop. I don't know why. Here we go, just lining up on the grid, blah blah blah. Here's Checo Perez lining alongside my Ferrari. Alonso in P4, Bottas P5, interesting grid. Enough yapping, it's time for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. George Russell gets a brilliant start heading into turn 1. It's going to be 3 wide actually. Russell, Perez makes contact with our side pod. Russell does some interesting maneuvers. We get pushed right on the tarmac, no, the gravel actually. Fernando Alonso gets the lead for the second race in a row. If you don't know, he started in Poland, Zandvoort. Here's the onboard of Lando Norris right now, and here's my onboard, defending from Pierre Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, yeah, Gasly made some contact with me and I had to go cut the corner. The FIA won't give me a penalty. You can see up ahead there, George Russell successfully goes round the outside of Fernando Alonso. But he should get a penalty for that because, yeah, or actually, no, it's a racing incident because Perez had the inside. Whatever. Here's Lando Norris trying to get past Fernando Alonso. They're former teammates. Norris was basically Alonso's servant in McLaren in 2018, if you don't remember. Here's Pierre Gasly now, trying to get past Lewis Hamilton, who had a pretty okay start. But up ahead, you can see it's almost 3 wide. As Norris attempts the overtake on Alonso, he blocks Bottas. Bottas gets a terrible exit, giving me the chance to get back up into P4. No DRS yet, because it's only lap 1, but we successfully get past Valtteri Bottas after that skirmish the real word, after that scrap with Lando and Fernando Alonso. As Max Verstappen does a bold move on Charles Leclerc and gets up into P9 after serving a grid penalty. And yes, Carlos Sainz down in P11, Leclerc in the points. It's interesting. So here's the start from Fernando Alonso's POV. You can see here on the grid. Yeah, George Russell. I just had to make a bit of room for Russell because he had a really good start. And you can see here, this is why I call it a racing incident. So Perez goes down the inside and causing me to push Russell a bit wide. And then it causes him to push me wide into turn 2. So yeah, I'd say that is a racing incident. So yeah, here's George Russell. I could make a diagram of it, but I'm lazy. You can see here's Russell there. I sort of pushed him into turn 2, but then Perez pushed me into turn 1. So it's a racing incident. No one's at fault. We're all friends at the end of the day. And it's now time to try to get past Lando Norris. We're actually going to be getting these positions quite quickly. George Russell has pretty much fled into oblivion. Bro is not Max Verstappen. And my Ferrari is way superior to the McLaren of Lando Norris. So we should be able to get him before lap 3. You can see there he has a bit of a moment in the middle of Ascari there. We're going to use our ERS, just operate the battery. We're going to find a way to get past him into the Parabolica. We do sort of a dummy move on the inside. And yes, we do. We get past Lando Norris at Parabolica. We shut the door on him. Just close his line so that he doesn't attempt to get past anymore. And yeah, there we go. We're up in a P3 now, back into the podium places. We have sights on Fernando Alonso right now. I can see it's 3 wide here. Going into turn 1, what can Max do? Verstappen, will he get it done? Verstappen, no, he doesn't get the double overtake done. That was like what happened in lap 1, but when the guy going down the inside doesn't think he's Ayrton Senna. Here's Max Verstappen now attempting the double overtake again, and it worked! Max Verstappen, so it didn't work at turn 1, but it's working here at turn 3. Now he has to chase Lewis Hamilton, who is not having a great race at the moment, stuck behind Valtteri Bottas. And now it is my turn to get past Fernando Alonso. He doesn't have DRS. Thank you, George Russell, for opening the gap. But it's not enough to get past Alonso yet in this lap. Because yeah, we're just too far behind. But maybe we can get him into Parabolica. And here's Lewis Hamilton, sorry, who got past Valtteri Bottas. And I said he's having a bad race earlier. Wow. So we go through the Parabolica, gaining speed. We're actually about to get past Fernando Alonso, who is this his 349th Grand Prix? I'm not so sure. But here we go, fastest lap, 122.3. DRS open, should be a pretty textbook DRS overtake. He tries to defend the inside. We brake early to try and force him to mistake. He kinda does, but we're gonna shut the door into turn 2, close the door here, and we have successfully made it into P2 and 3 wide here. A lot of battles going on in this race. This is what Monza theoretically should be like, but because of dirty air and stuff like that, Monza in real life is whack. Yeah, so Carlos now trying to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. Replace him at McLaren, who is going to be gone for the 2023 season. No, I don't know if he will. Yay, Carlos. Yeah, he'll have DRS now. Just going through the Lesmo, you can't overtake at Lesmo. Actually, you can. You can. You just have to be alongside before going into Lesmos. Then you can overtake. So here's DRS now with Carlos Sainz. Again, pretty textbook DRS overtake. This race is pretty much last year's Las Vegas Grand Prix. And it kind of made me realize that Las Vegas is pretty much Monza with no drag. That would be a perfect life. That would be the perfect life. But you can see here now, Charles Leclerc and Esteban Ocon having a bit of a battle. Leclerc gets the better of Ocon going down the Parabolica, but Ocon the better exit because he was on the wider line. Remember that scene from Cars 2 when Mater told McQueen to go on the outside line? Yeah, I like Cars 2, but it's not as good as the other two. 1 and 3. 1 and 3 are peak. Lance Stroll tries to get past Charles Leclerc, doesn't work, but Esteban Ocon is now in P11. And there's just so many battles happening at once. Oh my days. Here's Norris getting past Alonso. Alonso dropped 3 places in the span of 5 laps. I don't blame him. He's in an Alpine. And Lewis Hamilton almost gets past Valtteri. Weren't you already ahead of... What happened? Okay, Lewis Carmilton not having a good race. As we're now focusing on the Alpine versus the McLaren driver. Beautiful shot, by the way. I'm going to have another battle going into Parabolica. And I have 24 minutes left to voice over. My throat is going to hate me for the next 4 hours. It's 10:45 in the evening. Look at that. Lewis Hamilton down the inside of Valtteri Bottas. I think he won't keep it still because it's either the car performance, but he took a grid penalty, so I don't get it. I don't get why he's struggling a lot as he is. Here's Lewis Hamilton getting past Valtteri Bottas, the Finnish driver. Well, he could be finished. I'm not gonna, but he's Finnish. He's Finnish. He's from Finland, but he's not finished. He could be, but he's not. Never mind. He proved in 2022 that with a good car, he's still good. Because the Alfa Romeo just fell off a cliff. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton got past his former teammate, and that should be pretty normal for Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton getting past him. He dreams about that in every night. So yeah, now lap 6, just looking at this nice McLaren and Mercedes in the black livery. And they should add more teal to the car this year. And I like the red Ineos on the airbox. Okay, Max Verstappen's time to shine to get past Valtteri Bottas. So, what can he do? He finds the inside line. Valtteri Bottas, nice defending. Yo, that was good. That was good defending. That's how you defend, Valtteri. That, again, F122 is unrealistic because Valtteri does not defend in real life. Carlos Sainz now behind Max Verstappen. Will he get anything done? No, he won't. And if you look at the leaderboard, you can see that Leclerc, Gasly, Magnussen, and Perez are having a battle now. And it's like, why are there so many happening at once? I can't be able to cover all of them. As Max Verstappen finally gets past Valtteri Bottas. Bottas tries the inside. No, he doesn't. Verstappen closed the door into turn 1. And now here's Carlos Sainz's turn to try and get past Valtteri Bottas. Ferrari power versus Ferrari power. Can he do anything? Not quite yet. So we're just gonna fast forward to later in the lap. Mid-Lesmo going on to the straight now. The longest, is this the longest straight? No, it's not. DRS open on Valtteri Bottas. Bottas has DRS too, but Carlos is probably using his ERS. And he gets past Valtteri Bottas into Ascari as this beautiful shot passes by. And now onto the next lap. It's time to see this beautiful shot again, but this time it's me getting past George Russell. Took me 7 laps, but we're still gonna do it. I think it's pretty clear that I'm gonna get past Russell now. There's no questions about it. Because Russell, the Mercedes this weekend is no match for the Ferrari. As there were 2 tenths behind him now. We're gonna do a bit of a fake in the inside and then just do this around the outside. Textbook move. And we're even gonna... Oh, actually, Russell came out to play. We make a bit of contact, but no, actually. He's fighting. He's defending. That's good. That's good from George Russell. Surprised it isn't a crash yet. We're just gonna go down the inside into the turn 3 and turn 4 chicane, and we finally get past George Russell. Let's clap. I can't clap, I'm holding the mic. Yay, we're past George Russell, and now we're gonna skip to another, focus on another battle. Here's Checo Perez getting past Pierre Gasly, pretty easy. Yeah, Red Bull versus AlphaTauri. Wow, okay, this race is just full of battles. It's making my throat sticky. Oh no, that was hella sus. No, it's making my throat sticky because I have to talk about every battle. Oh, do I cut? No, that would make good content. As George Russell comes into the pits now on lap number 9 for his first stop, and it's going to be the medium tires. I think this kind of guarantees that he'll come out ahead of me. No, I don't think he's close enough. Esteban Ocon looks like in the background, also coming in for a stop. Lewis Hamilton and Alonso, oh, it looks like they went for a stop as well. Max Verstappen's in P10. Did he undercut them? I wasn't paying attention to that. And here's Max Verstappen, you know. He's going to get the undercut done in Lando Norris going into turn 1. And here's Fernando Alonso getting past Lando Norris as well. Lewis Hamilton is stuck in P7, not having a great race. After having, what, 2 pretty good races in Zandvoort and Hungary. But anyways, just fast forwarding later on in the lap, Max is just going to fly away. Just like real life, except this time he's flying away from the midfield battle. Lando Norris, after getting undercutted by Fernando Alonso, is going to try now and get Fernando Alonso on the Parabolica. Yep, he's gaining more speed, probably because he has his battery open. Yeah, he turns it off. Alonso is now gaining on him. But Alonso down the inside, really close. They're going to be side by side going into the main straight now, going into turn 1. Alonso, they're really side by side. This is peak F1. This is real F1. Both of them have DRS, so there's no advantage. Alonso has the inside line advantage. Now Norris has it. He's going to sort of push Alonso wide, but Alonso keeps it. And Hamilton is probably faster than both of them, but yeah, he's just stuck behind them because they're always battling. Max has pretty much went away already, and here is now my turn to come into the box. And we're 26 seconds ahead of George Russell. That should be okay at Monza. I'm not so sure because we're going on the hard tires, basically to go to the end. And George Russell is, yeah, he's pretty much done with his, no, he has to pit for the hards as well. So I'm not that stressed about it. Because, yeah, I made the mediums last this long. He could also probably make them last that long. But we have to see as we exit the pits. And George Russell, nope, he's still quite far behind me. And now here's the battle between Lando Norris and Alonso. No, nothing. Because Norris can't get past. And yeah, here we go now. Here's me versus George Russell. Yeah, our tires are really cold as well, so we're just gonna have to wait a while for them to heat up. But while we're waiting for them to heat up, George Russell is gonna be flying in his Mercedes. He's now in DRS range of my Ferrari, 3/10. He has a very good chance of getting past here, so I have to use my ERS. I have to stop saving it, and George Russell now finds the inside. Doesn't go for the inside, so he just backed out of that move. Why no, I won't do the same joke. Here's George Russell now. Why am I saying here? Whatever. Russell now, 200s, and no, not enough. We're gonna go wide, and we're gonna cut off his line. Never mind. We're alongside George Russell. He's going to have DRS. I'm not going to have DRS. It's going to be very interesting going to turn 1. Can my battery outstand his DRS? And it's looking like it. And it's also probably the Ferrari engine. So we're going to go around the outside of turn 1. Keeping position. Forcing him wide onto the gravel a bit. That's probably dirty. And he'll be complaining on the radio. As you hear, oh yeah, that's like that scene in Cars 2 where McQueen whined and he lost time. I just mentioned that like earlier in the video. We're gonna cover up the inside of the line. This is yeah, this is good. We're keeping Russell at bay. He has a chance to go down the inside. I remember when I said that you can't overtake at Lesmo? That was a lie. You actually can. Is now, yeah, Russell still has DRS, so Verstappen is at a disadvantage right now because DRS train, and I'm at the biggest disadvantage. So Russell, nope, not quite finding anything on the Parabolica. Now our tires are proper heated, but they have fresh mediums, so they're obviously still going to be quicker than me. As Verstappen now has a chance to overtake George Russell. I thought Russell would overtake me. Verstappen gets into P3. They're still alongside George Russell down the inside of Max Verstappen. That was a good dive on the Red Bull driver, although going at those speeds could be seen dirty in real life racing. As Carlos Sainz comes into the box, who's he going to come out ahead of? Lewis Hamilton actually undercuts Carlos Sainz, but he has to pit one more time. Lewis Hamilton inside of Lando Norris. Yeah, no, he doesn't. And you can see now on my view, actually, yes, Hamilton does get past Norris, but Russell finally gets past my Ferrari. We're still keeping Verstappen at bay here, but we're still going to be able to fend him off because, yeah, we're going to have DRS, so it's going to be a DRS train. Verstappen's pretty much just a sitting duck right now. Yeah, hard tires. Love the hard tires, mate. We're going to open up DRS. We're quite far back, but we're going to utilize our ERS. I've been saying that a lot this whole time. I have to get better commentating skills. You fake a move in the inside to try and force a mistake. He doesn't fall for it because it's AI. If it was real, if it was a real person, he'd probably fall for it. Yeah, again, Verstappen, just a sitting duck, can't do anything if you're stuck behind two people who are battling. Alright, you're gaining more speed than Mercedes is. I am Yoda. Sing of a Star Wars song. I can't think of anything right now. DRS on George Russell, and yup, down the inside we go of the Mercedes. I almost said McLaren. Of the Mercedes driver, and we are leading the Italian Grand Prix once more. George actually tries to go down the inside, but we're gonna cover off his line, and Lando Norris gets past Lewis Hamilton. Oh, yep, just trying to defend Russell, cutting the corner a bit, and I think that's it. Yeah, he's falling off. He's falling back a bit right now into Max Verstappen, and his battle is now with the Red Bull driver. This race is just so all over the place. This would be a really good race if it was real. Sadly, it isn't, and sadly, I am not a real Formula 1 driver because I don't have the budget. So yeah, I think that's it for the battle between me and George Russell and Max Verstappen. Mainly because, well, I am starting to pull away from these two. Yeah, and Verstappen's already getting impatient. He's gonna go around the outside of George Russell here, and Russell is slowly falling away from DRS range as Lewis Hamilton falls back into P6. Yeah, Verstappen has DRS, Russell actually doesn't, and he gets it moved unsuccessfully. As I think actually both of them had DRS. They're gonna have a bit of a contact made right there between the rear wheels and Russell's front right. But that's over. That's over for me. I'm just gonna fly away into the distance now. And it's Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Ricardo Bottas come to the pits in lap 16 actually, to get their tires changed to the hard tires. Why didn't you just do a one stop? Why? If they say why didn't you just do a one stop? Why did you have to do two stops? Why did you do two stops? Why? Man, I love that song, Human Nature. That's the greatest Michael Jackson song of all time. Is it? Yeah, yes it is. I don't care what anyone says. Time for Russell and Max to come into the pits. And who do you have your bets on to come out ahead? Because Russell has the earlier pit box. As right now, both of them in the pits. And Russell actually having a bit of a stop issue. And he's going to come out even further behind from Max Verstappen. Because if they got the pit stop done first, then Verstappen would have had to be stationary in the box. But ending up, Russell is way more behind Max Verstappen. And will the undercut work for Lewis Hamilton on Lando Norris? It looks like it is. He's behind Norris. Norris is barely going fast. And Lewis Hamilton gets past the fellow British driver. And Alonso is going to try the inside of Lando Norris, and that is giving Lewis Hamilton enough time to fly into the distance in P5, P6 actually, because P5 because Checo has to box. Norris and Alonso having a bit of a battle. The servant back in McLaren in 2018. Lando Norris would get a cup of tea and coffee and give it to Fernando Alonso. I think I remember seeing that in the practice session at Austin. I miss those days. That was when F1 actually felt like F1. Now Alonso, DRS open, not close enough to make a move, not close enough to make anything done, make anything happen on the McLaren driver. So now it's time to see Checo Perez coming to the box and fall way behind after he ruined his own race. I'm gonna blame that first lap incident more on him, because he was the one who forced me to force George Russell wide. So he should get the penalty. He's gonna fall way behind as Fernando Alonso not giving up yet. He lost the lead after like 5 laps. He lost the podium places after 5 laps. And he's trying to get into the top 6. Not enough yet. It's a huge train. And more video for me to edit. Let's go. There's Alonso going into the turn 3 and turn 4 chicane. Nothing happens. Norris locks up and loses 2 positions. Now his teammate Daniel Ricciardo is ahead of him. I jinxed that. Commentator's curse. I mean, it already happened, but still, commentator's curse. I am better than Martin Brundle. The Ferrari looking epic. No, that was Crofty who said that. So nothing happening much right now after Norris locked up. I wonder if there's flat spots in the tires. No, there's not, because it's not R Factor 2. Man, R Factor 2 tire physics slap, but the game is ass. Here's the battle now. Ocon and Valtteri Bottas. You can see Checo Perez just hanging in the distance there. Ocon didn't bother going for a move in turn 1. Bottas closing the door. Nice defending from Bottas today. Very rare of him to do so in his Mercedes days. There's a Esteban Ocon now. Very close to Bottas. Will he try a move in the chicane? No, not really. Not close enough on the Finnish driver. Not finished driver. The Finnish driver. As all their battling has led Checo Perez to just catch up behind. And all that defending from Bottas has caused him to lose DRS from Lando Norris. So he is super vulnerable going to the straight here. He could get double overtaken. As Esteban Ocon overtakes Bottas. Not really there alongside. Going to Ascari. Yes, he does. Bottas is now in a blue car sandwich. Here's Checo Perez after having a pretty terrible race. It's very normal to see Checo in this position. Because, yeah, incompetence in real life. I'm sorry, Checo. If ever I meet any of these drivers in real life and they pull up these videos, I just want to say, I do not mean all these negative things. No, these negative things I'm saying is all in the form of constructive criticism. And Checo Perez, DRS open, Valtteri Bottas. He is defending. Bottas is defending. Yes, he is. Wow, against the Minister of Defense. But I think the Minister of Defense lost its title in 2023. Because he was able to fend off Leclerc pretty well in Singapore of 22. And in 23, he's not that great defending anymore. Again, Bottas, why are you suddenly Prime Kawhi? Why are you suddenly 2019 Kawhi Leonard, 2014 NBA Finals Kawhi Leonard? Your defending is immaculate, and something else is not immaculate. Esteban Ocon retiring from the Italian Grand Prix. Great. As here's Checo Perez again. Bottas defending. Amazing defending from Valtteri Bottas today. That is prime Sergio Ramos. That is prime Luis Figo. Prime Piqué even. And Charles Leclerc now has a chance to get the points because Perez is not getting past Valtteri Bottas today. The Botman, Valtteri Botman. Even though Bottas did get overtaken by Esther, it doesn't matter. His defending against Perez is still immaculate. He will have a chance here. Perez, no. Great defending from Bottas considering his machinery. Now back to the battle between Ricciardo and Alonso, the McLaren versus the Alpine. Actually, Ricciardo used to drive for Renault/Alpine and Alonso used to drive for McLaren. This is great. This is a great battle. Now Ricciardo, I think he's going to keep P6 until the end of the race. And Alonso is just going to keep P7. Commentator's Curse Part 2. Yeah, fast forwarding here. Perez finally gets past Valtteri Bottas. He's just way too close this time. Fresher tires as well. Bottas cannot defend himself because he doesn't have DRS. Sadly, the Minister of Finland's defense has fallen. And looking up ahead here, Lando Norris has gotten past Fernando Alonso. Let's look at the replay here. Alonso going into turn 1. He locks up and loses 2 places. Same thing as what Lando did. And Karma has tried. Karma. Wait, that happened in the 2017 Italian Grand Prix too. As Lando Norris has sights on Daniel Ricciardo to finish in P6. It's a teammate battle at this moment of time. And Norris closing up massively. He goes on the outside of the Australian. He gets ahead of Ricciardo before the corner even ends. And that is it. Norris gets back P6 like how things are meant to be. And now switching back to my onboard. Total domination actually right after overtaking George Russell in that little scrap between Russell and Max. Total domination. You can see the next driver who isn't a Ferrari is 27 seconds away, and our championship rival Lewis Hamilton is 40 seconds behind. We win the Italian Grand Prix, so 1-2 at Monza, making the Tifosi proud.
Back in the net! Yes, fantastic! You've just won the Grand Prix!
They made great use of the clear air today and didn't allow anyone to exploit the slipstream behind them. What a great win here at Monza. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Wow, so that was it, the Italian Grand Prix, total domination by me, my first win since Canada, and I think it's only my third win of the season. Crazy thing about that, considering it's late in the season, and we're in a championship battle. Great, Lewis Hamilton P5, Bottas P10, no one got lapped. Lance Stroll, wow, losing 8 places, you know that's in P15. Alex Albon is still the only driver left to not score points. So yeah, again, total domination, and we're ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the standings. We finally get past our rival in the standings. Carlos Sainz moves up a place. Checo moves back. Tragic race for him. As yeah, Alex Albon still no points. The next race is Singapore, my home race. Technically my home race. I'm Filipino, but I lived in Singapore, so technically my home race. Can't wait for that, and I have a very special helmet going for that race, so yeah, just gotta wait and see.